Hello everyone, welcome to my next journal planner collab video. I have to admit my journal is both a planner and an art journal and everything else all wrapped up in one. Remember, it is collaborative. Check the description box below for any other links from other collaborators and check out what they're doing. So, as a quick update, my journal that I finished for February and March of 2018. The last video, I showed you this last page here, and I had not finished this page. So I did this. I did the front inside cover. I like this girl. I'm not thrilled with this one. Doesn't matter. And I painted the outside. I gave it a solid coat of gesso, and then I used my Jane Davenport paints because they're matte and I didn't want a glossy cover, and I need to use those up because the tubes all burst and they're a mess, and I'm really just trying to use them up. So I tried to pick some cool colors for winter and keep it nice and simple. I envision a whole row of these journals in my shelf, and I even kept it simple how I marked it, 218 to 318. So there we go. There's the update on that one. And the one I'm working on for, let me show you, April and May. So right inside my cover, I have my 2 months at a glance. I thought it would be convenient to have these two right inside the cover so I could always go to them, but this, looking at this feels overwhelming to me. Like my eye can't pick out what's what. I don't know if I need to add 2 different colors to the month or watercolor them. I will keep you posted. Today is the 30th. So I've got lots of things documented here and some stuff filled in for my next month. But at least this way I don't have to guess where in the journal May should go. I could just keep working to my heart's content. This is my oil page. It's not pretty, but it's very functional. My April order, my tentative May order, the mixtures in my roller balls, things I would like to try, my spray bottles. Here's my inventory. Is getting away from me. When I go to order, I tend to want to order something I already have. These are the 2 I've used up, so they're on my order for next month because they're popular. So there we go. This was, I'm going to move really fast. I hope I'm not speed talking, but this is a lot to flip through, and I don't want it to be long and boring. I'm just going to quickly flip through, update you on what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy. April 1st, Easter. My cooking list, my to-do list, a little bit of memories, some writing. These girls turned out kind of cool. This is all fountain pen. More fountain pen doodling, but I was getting bored, so I got out my only set of twinkling H2Os, and this was hard. I mixed the color for her face. They were hard to work with, but I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of shimmer to it, which is kind of cool. She's okay. That was 4-4. I took these and swatched them very thickly. How do you say that? The 6 colors. And I tried to use them without mixing solid. Like I said, they're hard to work with. But it was interesting. So the next day I got out I thought, well, okay, let's keep this on a roll, work on some different things. I got out my Neocolor 2 crayons, and I couldn't stand the way her face came out. It's all smeary. So then I got out my mermaid markers. I'm like, oh, that's too bright. I killed this. I slapped on some book pages that I did with the twinkling H2Os. Call it a day. You know, not every page turns out a masterpiece. It is what it is. I went back to what I'm comfortable with, my fountain pens. I think she's pretty. Some memorabilia. I did a sketch this day, my to-do list, and a recipe I tried for both my sons. One eats paleo, one eats vegan. So this recipe worked for both of them. I made them a gift. Took my grandson to this play, jotting a note about our vacation in 2019. And thank goodness I'm keeping notes like this, because there were some issues I had this month of things I didn't get in my phone calendar, and I was able to go back to my other journal and look up things I had written, and it was really useful. This day, 4/9, I've been tearing up this little gardener's Latin book, and I used this image and drew it big here. I like this. 2 colors of fountain pen. Black fountain pen and a black jelly roll pen. I love this. She almost looks like a Greek girl with flowing sheer curtains behind her. That makes me happy. 410, more line work. I was into it in a very different face for me, a different shape, a different expression. This, I used a reference picture, a girl with this big fluffy hair. And I had watched a movie, Kill Bill of all things. I love the Kill Bill movies. And the one girl was standing with this, I don't know what it was, a row of metalwork behind her. And I was so interested. I was like, oh, let me try and put that in my journal. You never know where you're going to get inspiration from. More of my morning writing. Fountain pen and some quick watercolor in the background. I did her first with no plans for this page whatsoever. This page, I continue to now and then do studies for an upcoming project. I promised a painting of a woman with no hair as kind of a warrior for a friend who does the marches for breast cancer and has fundraisers, and she wants to raffle off a painting. So every now and then I put some thought into it because I know I'm going to have to paint a woman with no hair. And I tried this woman in water-soluble pencil, and I love, she's steady, she's firm, she's purposeful. I did my own writing around it. But what cracks me up is my friend said, it looks like she's looking at her head. I'm like, yeah, it does look like she's looking at her head, but I hope it's not in judgment. I hope she's like into it and thinking, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, watercolor, some pencil writing, pencil sketch. I like to keep up with pencil sketches just for position, head position, shoulders. Some notes I made about my last video because I couldn't remember what music I had used, and you need to write it in the description. These are Prismacolor Premier markers, a brush tip and a super fine tip, which I don't know how that's going to look to you. See how fine that marker is? I used the same brush marker here, but then I used a fountain pen and a water brush to soften it up, just to change it up a bit. This is watercolor, Dilutions ink, mermaid marker. I had done a live stream with Christy Sobolewski, and this is kind of inspired by what she had done in her live stream. This girl's watercolor, and oh, that's a fountain pen. Some fountain pen details. My favorite black and white fountain pen. I like her. I like her expression. I did my writing in the back and blended it in with a watercolor brush. Here is obviously working on noses. Can't hurt to learn the structure and the basics and then move on from there. It's a pretty 2-page spread all in one color fountain pen. I find that very pretty. This girl reminds me of Morticia Addams or Wednesday Addams. I don't know. She looks rather ghoulish. But I did this in fountain pen, and I did her hair with a jelly roll because I, as you can tell, I love doing that kind of line work. I had, as a last minute, bumped her hair out to follow a shoulder line and decided I ruined it. You know, oh, woe is me. And then I got out my black gesso and covered it up, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. I love the dramatic black. So I added this girl and continued the black. I considered going in with a white jelly roll and adding more, but I like it just like that. These girls, one sepia colored fountain pen. I think this sepia color is becoming my favorite. It's hard to remember afterwards. Some of these I start with pencils, some of them I don't, but I can see graphite peeking through on this. So I obviously started these girls with some pencil work first. I like the looseness. I like seeing those scratchy lines of the pen, yet the watercolor effect when you use the watercolor brush with the ink. Another study, girl with no hair. She has a henna style tattoo on her head, which is something they do. I looked it up on Pinterest as like a self-esteem building for women who are undergoing treatment or have lost their hair or have alopecia. Her face is definitely too long, but it was interesting practice. Still more studies for that up-and-coming work. lime green fountain pen, a homemade stencil. I like this one. I'm up to 423. I'm moving quickly. I'm doing well. 2 more girls, 2 color fountain pens. I continued this circle design across. I feel like I could do these girls endlessly and never get tired of them. This was a watercolor study for something else I'm working on. This book is not everything I work on. I do some 9x12 watercolors. I have a smaller journal. I now have a collage journal. This girl was good until I put this yellow here in her face. I was really unhappy with it. I felt like I ruined it. But that's okay. This is a memorabilia page this is Monday the 30th. Thursday and Friday I went on a road trip with a good friend. We went to the Queen's Ink in Maryland. It was like a 2.5-hour drive. We had a hotel room. We shopped at the Queen's Ink, and it was wonderful. We saw supplies that we normally only see online and got to touch and hold and feel and shop. And then the next day we did this all-day workshop with Kelly Kilmer. Here's my packing list of supplies, my packing list of other things, my to-do list, some new product I bought, which you'll see on the next pages at the shop, our hotel reservation, the address where we were going, some memories where we had a beautiful lunch over the creek. So while this is not really an aesthetically beautiful page, it was really useful, and I enjoy it. Now, some of the new supplies I got at the Queen's Ink. I saw these. I've never seen or heard of these before. They're Stabilo All, however you say it. They're called Woody 3-in-1. Okay, so basically they're a giant Stabilo All pencil. I really can't call it a crayon. It's just like a really thick pencil. They were kind of pricey. They were $3.29 each. So I bought 4. And I went back to the hotel that night, and I quick sketched out, no pencil, a face with the black, and activated it with a watercolor brush and water, and then tried these 3 other colors in the background. I'm not sure how I'm going to use these or how I feel about them. I envision them more like mark making on top of mixed media work. So then the other thing I realized is you have to buy the giant size sharpener, which I went back and bought the next day, which was kind of pricey because these are never going to fit in any sharpener I have. I put my Quink ink, this is my Quink ink, which I had, this is not brand new, into this new water brush. And I tried painting this girl with ink in a water brush. I don't think I liked it. My notes are up here. Every time I squeezed it, a giant blob came out, which is why I ended up with this solid background, because I had a whole lake of blue ink over here that I had to spread out. But it's okay. It's trial and error. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'm sure I'll find something. And then I used the brown Woody 3-in-1 for the background. So this is all just experimenting with new supplies. My only one Lamy pen that I have, I got a new ink for it. And it's Noodler's ink. And it's in this really cool packaging. It's made in the USA. It's got art all over the packaging and art on the bottle. And it's a good buy. There's a lot of ink in this bottle. And this is Sunrise ink. And look at the art on the bottle. Very cool. And you can see that bottle is filled to the top. $12.75. Not bad. I also have to look for that online. I filled my Lamy pen. I cleaned out the purple ink that's been in there forever. And it was interesting how the Noodler's ink worked. When I activated it, I don't know if you can see that real well, it almost became neon. It starts out a golden orange, and then when I activated it, it got this bright yellow. So these are all my tests, my trials. I'm going to have to see how I'm going to use that ink. And this is back to my favorite sepia pen, my favorite sepia ink in a fountain pen. I started scribbling. I just scribbled, knowing I was going to put a face here. I kind of left that open. Then I used a circle stencil, drew some circles, put her face in, and incorporated her hair in the scribbles. That was fun. 4:28. It was Saturday night. And then I got up and I did this girl. I don't know if I like her or not. She looks kind of odd. I was trying a different head and neck position, and she looks rather ghoulish. And then, once again, it's that same paint. I'm trying to use up that matte paint. So I did my journaling down here, my typical scribble you can't read journaling. And then up here, this is all dangly doodle designs, which is pretty cool. You know, she got a little pink from over here on her. It's unfortunate. Nothing I can do about it now. I watched a video. I've started looking up some fountain pen art videos, and there are not many. Not many people are making fountain pen art, or at least I haven't stumbled upon many videos. But they showed how you take a fountain pen and a watercolor brush. Let me get one. I'm just going to grab any brush here. It doesn't matter. And you take a wet brush and you flick across and you get these spattering. So that was new to me, and that was interesting. So this is 4 different colors of fountain pen, water, and spattering. I like it. It's somewhat an illustratory look, but I like that. That's really cool. So that's what I'm up to. That's as far as I got. I will pick more spring-like colors. Hopefully by next month I will fill the rest of the journal, show you the flip, decide if I want to keep going in this format with the month at a glance in the front, and paint the outside, and I will update you. I hope you enjoyed this. Keep an eye out. I'm going to do a video here real soon on how I do these kind of girls' faces. I've gotten some requests. People are interested in how I do this. It won't be a long video, but that'll be next in the queue. So keep an eye out. So thank you for watching. Again, check the video description box below for other links and see what other people are doing in their planner journals. Thanks for watching.